Ladies and gentlemen, in your journey through life, many will pass by you. Some will speak kindly, some may speak harshly. Some will act with grace, others with ignorance. But whether their behavior shakes your peace or not, this is not their power. It is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, to never get angry or bothered by anyone begins with the recognition that all emotions arise from within. No one pours anger into your body. No one inserts frustration into your mind. What you feel is born from how you interpret, accept, or reject the present moment. It is essential to see clearly that the root of emotional disturbance lies not in the world, but in how you perceive the world. When a person speaks unkindly, what happens outside is sound, movement, energy. But what happens inside is judgment, comparison, resistance. And it is in that resistance that your peace is lost. Awareness is the first gate you must cross. Without it, anger becomes a reflex. With awareness, it becomes a signal, not something to obey, but something to observe. So when someone says something that normally would offend you, pause, watch your breath, notice what your mind wants to do. Maybe it wants to fight back, maybe it wants to defend, maybe it wants to escape. But if you stay with it, not feeding it, not acting on it, it loses its grip. Emotions are like fire. If you stop feeding it fuel, it burns out on its own. People think controlling anger means suppressing it. It's not true. Suppression creates pressure. It's like sealing a volcano. One day erupts. What is needed is understanding. When you understand that your emotions are temporary, that they rise and fall like waves, you stop giving them control. You watch, you listen, but you do not obey every emotional command. And in doing so, you become free. Train your mind every day. This means creating small gaps between stimulus and response. You do not have to answer every insult. You do not have to fix every misunderstanding. Learn to be quiet. Let others exhaust their chaos while you protect your calm. This is not weakness. This is discipline. To remain still when the world is shaking is a powerful force. You do not need to change anyone. You only need to change how much permission you give them to affect your state. And ask yourself, what benefit does anger bring? Has it ever solved a problem without creating another? Has it ever built something lasting? What it brings is division, regret, and weakness disguised as strength. But calmness holds power. It allows clarity, and clarity lets you respond, not react. Understand this deeply. You are not the anger. You are the space in which anger arises. If you identify with the emotion, it becomes your master. If you observe it, it becomes your messenger. And then you can learn, grow, and rise above. So when the next challenge comes, and it will, let it find you silent, steady, and aware. Let the world be as it is, while you remain as you are, unshaken. When someone does something that would normally provoke you, the immediate reaction is often automatic. Frustration, annoyance, or anger arises. But the truth is, it's not the person who caused your inner storm. It's your own mind interpreting the event through a lens of ego, pride, or expectation. To never be bothered by anyone again is to deeply understand that what others do is outside of your control, and what you feel is entirely within it. The world will not always behave according to your preferences. People will speak without thinking, act without understanding, and move through their own patterns. Your peace depends on how you choose to receive them. Imagine the mind as a still pond. Every reaction is like throwing a stone into it. If you want to see clearly, the water must be calm. So, when someone speaks harshly or acts unfairly, see if you can remain still inside. Do not throw your own stones in. Not let their energy pollute your inner clarity. Instead, become the watcher. Watch what is said. Watch how your body responds. Watch what thoughts rise up. And then remind yourself, this is not about me. This is about their state. Knock not mine. Most people confuse reaction with strength. They think yelling back means power. But true strength is found in restraint. It takes nothing to react, but it takes deep inner mastery to remain silent and centered. That silence is not emptiness, it is presence. It is awareness so grounded that no storm can uproot it. When you reach that place, others may still try to disturb you, but they will fail, not because they have changed, but because you have. There is wisdom in letting things pass. Like clouds in the sky, emotions move through you. Key is not to grab them. Let the anger come and let it go. Observe its path. Trace it to the root. Is it your pride that was hurt? Was it your need to be right? Your fear of being misunderstood? When you find the root, you take back your power. Because then you no longer blame others for your state of being. You take full responsibility. Another layer of freedom comes when you understand that being unbothered is not about being indifferent. It's about being deeply rooted in peace. Indifference is numbness. Peace is awareness without attachment. You can care, you can listen, and you can respond, but you don't get lost in the noise. You stand tall like a mountain while the wind passes around you. Practice this every day. With small annoyances, train your mind to stay open. With small provocations, breathe. With every emotional spike, slow down. It is in these small moments that the great transformation begins. The goal is not to live a life without challenge. The goal is to build a mind that no challenge can shake. Then you no longer need to avoid difficult people, because they no longer disturb the stillness you've built inside. To reach a place where no one can make you angry or disturb your peace, you must first see clearly the illusion that anger is caused by others. This is the misunderstanding most people carry through their lives. They believe, made me mad, or she ruined my day. But such statements point outward, giving your inner state to someone else's control. The truth is far more powerful. No one can make you feel anything unless you permit it. This realization is not just a concept. It must become your inner discipline. People often look for complicated answers, but the path is simple. Turn inward. Understand yourself. Recognize that your emotional reactions come from unresolved parts of you. Your attachments, your wounds, your expectations. If you expect everyone to treat you kindly, you will be disturbed often. If you carry pride, even small slights will feel like deep offenses. But if you release the expectations and drop the ego, then you become like the ocean, vast and unbothered by small waves. One of the most effective tools in mastering emotion is the practice of pause. The pause creates space between the external event and your internal reaction. That space is where your power lies. When someone says something offensive, the immediate emotion might rise up like heat. But if you do not act on it, if you simply breathe and observe it, you weaken its grip. It's like watching a match burn out when you don't throw it into dry leaves. In that pause, your awareness steps in. And awareness is the antidote to unconscious reaction. It's important to understand that this practice is not about suppressing emotion. Suppression pushes anger deeper, where it festers and grows. What you are cultivating instead is conscious response. You see the emotion, you feel it fully, and you choose not to act it out. You understand it, learn from it, and let it pass. That is not weakness, it is wisdom. Also, remember that what disturbs you about another person often reveals something unresolved within you. If someone's arrogance angers you, perhaps there's pride in you that feels threatened. If someone's criticism hurts, perhaps there's insecurity waiting to be healed. In this way, every encounter becomes a mirror. Every emotional disturbance is a signal to go deeper within, not a reason to fight externally. You must also recognize that peace is not something given to you by the world. It is something you build and protect within yourself. It is your responsibility. And like anything worthwhile, it takes effort, practice, and intention. Every day, life will give you opportunities, someone cutting in traffic, a rude comment, a delay in your plan. Each of these is a moment to train, to remain steady, and to stay above the storm. When you reach this state, you no longer fear being offended. You no longer chase validation or fear rejection. You simply remain calm, watchful, and present. And in this presence, others lose their power to disturb your peace. Not because they've changed, but because you finally have. There comes a point in your growth where you realize that freedom from anger is not something to be achieved by controlling others, but by mastering yourself. People will always have opinions. Some will misunderstand you. Others may deliberately provoke you. But when you see this clearly, you begin to understand a higher truth. Their behavior is their expression of their state of mind. Whether peaceful or disturbed, loving or hateful, it reflects them, not you. So why take it personally? To never be bothered again, start by watching the space between what happens and how you respond. In this space lies your liberation. Most people skip this space and leap directly into reaction. Someone says something, and like a spark meeting dry wood, the flame ignites. But fire only grows when there's fuel. Your thoughts, your inner narratives, your sense of being wronged. These are the logs feeding the fire. If you take them away, even the spark finds no place to burn. This is why silence is such a powerful practice. When something disturbs you, practice being still. Don't rush to reply, don't defend, don't justify. Let your silence speak. Silence is not weakness. It is the refusal to let the world manipulate your inner state. When you remain silent, you send a message to yourself. My peace is more important than being right. My clarity matters more than this conflict. And that kind of mindset protects your energy from being wasted on battles that do not need to be fought. Let us go even deeper. What truly causes anger, it is not just the action of others. It is our attachment to how we believe things should be. They should respect me. They should understand. They should treat me better. But life does not obey these inner rules. And people often don't live up to our expectations. So the more tightly you hold on to should, the more often you suffer. Release the shoulds. Accept reality. People will be as they are. You, however, have the power to rise above. Train yourself like a calm warrior. Begin each day with intention. Reflect on your triggers. Notice where your peace gets shaken. These are your areas of growth. Don't blame the trigger. Understand what it reveals. The angry person becomes your teacher. The impatient driver becomes your lesson. Every moment of discomfort is a chance to polish the mirror of your awareness. And when you truly embody this practice, you stop taking things so seriously. You realize most of what upsets people is not worth the energy. You learn to smile at misunderstandings. You learn to give space to ignorance. You learn to walk away from conflict, not out of fear, but out of strength. You're no longer reacting to life. You're responding with wisdom. So in time, others may still try to push your buttons. Those buttons are no longer wired to your peace. You've unplugged them. You've stepped back. And in doing so, you've discovered a rare and precious thing, inner freedom, untouched by the noise of the world. Through the park, the journey to becoming someone who is never angry or bothered by others is not a path of avoidance. It is a path understanding. Begins with this realization: anger is not a sign of power, but of imbalance. It flares up when something inside you feels threatened, unheard, or disrespected. But instead of looking outward to blame or correct the source, the wise one looks inward. What part of me is reacting? Through the park. Why does this disturb me? The questions open the door to transformation. Without asking them, you live as a puppet pulled by the strings of other people's actions and words. Emotional maturity starts with personal responsibility. The park. If your peace can be stolen by a single sentence, then your peace was never rooted in strength. If your calm vanishes because someone disagrees with you, it was not true calm. It was conditional. Your inner state must be grounded in something deeper than the opinions of others. It must come from understanding your own mind, your own nature, your own values. Only then can it stand unshaken in the face of provocation. There is a powerful principle to remember. Others say what others say is a reflection of their reality, yours. Someone who is angry with life speaks from that chaos. Running the park. Someone who is bitter projects that bitterness onto others. You don't have to carry what they throw at you. Imagine walking through a marketplace where people are shooting, selling, and pushing their energy onto everyone. If you stopped at every stall and argue with every vendor, you would never leave. Sometimes the wisest response is to keep walking. Inner strength is built through restraint, but restraint is not suppression. It is awareness guiding response. When you feel anger rising, observe it like smoke curling from a fire. Do not judge it. Do not feed it. Just see it. In the light of awareness, anger loses its grip. It becomes just another emotion passing through like a storm cloud across the sky. You learn not to chase the cloud or try to push it away. You simply watch it move, knowing that beneath it, the sky remains untouched. Discipline comes from practice. Practice begins in small things. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Do you curse or do you smile and breathe? Someone talks over you in conversation. Do you raise your voice or do you let them finish with patience? These are the training grounds. Each moment you remain composed, you grow stronger. And each time you choose peace over pride, you expand your inner space. In time, your presence becomes a shield. People may shout, it does not enter you. They may try to provoke, but you remain calm. Not because you are numb, but because you are clear. Park. Not because you suppress your feelings, but because you no longer let them control you. And from that clarity comes a deep, the park. Silent confidence, the kind that cannot be disturbed by noise. This is the way of one who is truly free. The art of never getting angry or bothered by others is not about becoming emotionless. It is about developing such a deep understanding of yourself that emotions no longer rule you. Anger arises when the mind is disturbed by what it perceives as unfair, disrespectful, or wrong. But perception itself is shaped by inner filter cells, beliefs, past wounds, and unexamined expectations. When those filters are not seen, they color every interaction, causing unnecessary suffering. You begin to think others are hurting you, when in truth your own mind is misinterpreting reality. And once you see this clearly, running the park, you stop trying to control others and begin the real work, controlling yourself. The first teaching is this: stop personalizing everything. When someone criticizes you, observe the words without immediately defending your identity. When someone is rude, understand it is often their inner turmoil speaking, not a true reflection of your worth. You are not the center of other people's storms. Do not make their emotional weather your own. Their reaction belongs to them. Your response belongs to you. Choose wisely. Through the park. Detachment does not mean coldness. It means stepping back far enough to see clearly. It means not allowing other people's emotions to dictate your own. When someone disrespects you, your ego may want revenge. But what does revenge give you? Truly, a momentary satisfaction followed by longer regret. Instead, if you stay calm, you become the mirror. You show the other person their reflection without adding your own distortion. In doing so, you remain clean, running through the park, while they are left to confront themselves. There is great discipline in choosing silence over argument. When a person offends you and you remain quiet, not of fear, but out of self-command, You protect your peace like a flame in the wind. In that moment, you send a clear signal to your own mind. I no longer give control of my inner world to outer conditions. This is powerful. This is freedom. But this discipline must be trained. You don't become unshakable overnight. Begin with awareness. Each time you feel provoked, pause. Notice what is being triggered inside you. Is it pride and insecurity? Is it the need to be right? See it, name it, and then breathe. This breath is not weakness. It is preparation. It is the decision to respond instead of react. The world will not become more peaceful to suit you. People will not all become wise, kind, or respectful. But you can rise to meet life with a different energy. You can become so rooted in your own clarity that nothing shakes you. And the beauty of this state is that it inspires others. Your calm becomes contagious. Your presence becomes grounding. You don't just avoid anger. You radiate peace. So the next time you feel that pull toward reaction, remember you have trained for this. The pack. Let others waste their energy on noise. You are here to walk a quieter, stronger path. And on that path, no one holds power over you unless you give it to them. Choose not to. Stay still. Stay clear. Stay free. Profound strength in becoming the kind of person who cannot be easily disturbed. This strength is not loud, aggressive. It is silent, steady, and deeply rooted in self-awareness, running through the park. To never get angry or bothered by anyone does not mean you become emotionless or detached from the world. Running through the park. It means you develop such mastery over your own mind that no external force can pull you away from your inner balance. This is not something you fake. It is something you build through discipline, reflection, and constant practice. Through the park, each time someone says something unkind, you are given a choice. You can react with the same energy, allowing your emotions to erupt and take control. Or you can pause, observe what is rising within you, and choose a different response. In that pause, you reclaim your power. Anger is never truly about the other person. It is about your resistance to what is happening. You expected kindness and instead received rudeness. You expected agreement and instead received criticism. The gap between what you expect and what is real is where your suffering lies. Close that gap by releasing expectations. Understand that people are not here to behave the way you wish. They will act from their own level of consciousness. Some will be thoughtful, others will be unconscious. Some will show respect, others will project pain. You do not need to match their energy. You do not need to lower your vibration to meet theirs. What you need is to maintain your clarity no matter the environment. One way to do this is to shift your perspective. See every difficult person not as an obstacle, but as a teacher. They are giving you the opportunity to sharpen your patience, deepen your understanding, and reinforce your calm. Without the challenge, there would be no growth. Without the friction, there would be no polish. Let them teach you. Not by changing them, by changing how you relate to them. Train your inner world like a silent warrior. Start each day with intention. Remind yourself that no matter what happens, your peace is your responsibility. Visualize yourself moving through the day untouched by drama, unaffected by rudeness. Carry a calm presence like a shield. And when disturbance arises, return to your breath. Feel the air moving in and out, grounding you back to the present moment. That breath is your anchor, your reminder that you are in control, not of others, but of yourself. Eventually, this becomes your way of being. Your calm becomes so natural that people feel it when they're around you. Your stillness speaks louder than their noise. And in that stillness, you discover a new form of strength. The kind that does not need to prove itself. It simply is. So walk with that strength. Your peace be your power. And when the world tries to pull you out of alignment, smile gently. You are no longer so easily moved. You are free,